What does the transformation economy means for HR? And how can you create employee transformations? This is the talk of today. Hello, my name is Christophe Choquet. I'm a business strategist for a healthier future. I'm an author and international keynote speaker. I travel around the world to inspire companies and at conferences about the future of health, business, and technology. At the core of everything that I do is one single belief, and that is that health and happiness are the single most important things in our life. And so every day I try to analyze the trends in society, technology, and business and look how they impact our health and well-being. But I also look at how our health and well-being and how we behave around our health and well-being impacts trends in society, technology, and business. So every 2 weeks I write a newsletter about all of these trends, and eventually they end up in books like these. Healthusiasm was my first book, and just recently my second book came out, Trends in the Transformation Economy. But today I want to specifically talk about employee transformations. And not just about how to do it, but first of all, about why should you make your customers feel transformed? Well, it's about creating value. Your employees want the best value from you. And so you really need to understand what do they value most. And for that, I'd like to go to the travel industry. Because the travel industry, to me, is one of the biggest innovators when it comes to value, which kind of makes sense because we save a whole year to go on maybe one trip. And so we demand a lot of value in return. And the way that the travel industry provided value has changed rapidly and dramatically over time. Let's have a look at how it was 100 years ago when travel was actually still a commodity. Anybody could go outside of their house and just spend some time at the beach or whatever. But suddenly it turned into a product where people could actually rent a place, a caravan, an apartment, whatsoever. This is how value was created first. People were willing to pay to rent another place. Now in the 60s came about something which is called Club Med and the all-in services. It was the first time that the travel industry provided a service. You paid one time and you had a full service. Everything was included. Your food, your drinks, anything. This is how value was created in the 60s in the travel industry. Now in the 90s, things changed again because people were looking for a different kind of value. They wanted to have an experience. They wanted to go horseback riding somewhere in Poland, or maybe they wanted to visit Iceland. Maybe they wanted to go on a whiskey tour in Ireland. Whatever may be the case, there was this creation of value when you could provide an experience. It was called the experience economy. And the travel industry was one of the first ones to take this up. And again now, it doesn't stop there because there's a new type of value that is being provided. Now, people want to travel to feel transformed. They want to, for example, climb the Kilimanjaro. Something which was hardly done 60 years ago in the time of the all-in service and Club Med, etc., is now super popular. 30,000 people every year climb the Kilimanjaro because it makes them feel transformed. It's a challenge, and when they get back after doing it, they feel transformed. People go to Thailand to clean beaches because it makes them feel better. Or people go to Mexico where you can actually have a personal holistic health coach just to feel transformed again. In this resort, for example, you will have a personal guide who will help you to feel healthier and happier than ever before. They will help you with your food, your activities, your relaxation, your meditation, your yoga, whatsoever. Because that is what people want. People travel not just to be outside of their home or to leave their house for a while. No, it's just to come back to their home and feel transformed. This is how value is created. And it's no longer just about experiences and the experience economy. It's about transformations and the transformation economy. And this creates value. And the best way to show you how this value is created is to look at the gym industry. Because this is a product that you can buy for about 20 euros. It's a halter. A lovely product. You can work out your entire life with it. Lovely. This is the price you are willing to pay for. Now, if you go to a gym, they bought the halters and other equipment for you. It's a service. You only need to pay, and then you can use all of their tools. And for that, you are willing to pay 20 euros a month. Not just 20 euros to be able to exercise your entire life, it's 20 euros per month that you're willing to pay. That is the value that is created when you go from products to services. Now, if you go to experiences, like with spinning classes, then you are willing to pay even more. It's 20 euros per session, not just 20 euros per month. Personal coaches recently upped the game again. They don't only provide an experience, they provide an experience that makes you feel better, healthier, happier. It's a transformation. They listen to what is important to you and they will adapt it. They make sure that if you want to lose weight, you lose weight. If you want to gain strength, they will help you. This is the transformation that is not just an experience that makes you feel good, it's an experience that makes you feel better. That is how value is created in the gym industry, the transformation economy. And so if we think about HR, we need to take that into account as well. We need to think about how can we actually create transformations for your employees. And I started realizing that actually during my career, when these things happened in the travel industry, for example, or in the gym industry, it also happened with me. Because when I started working in the very beginning, the only thing that I needed was a job. That was the value I was looking for. Now, 10 years into that job, I had different expectations. I already had a job. And I expected something more. I wanted to have the same kind of experience as I had at home. I wanted to have a powerful computer. I wanted to have a good chair. I wanted to feel good at work. It needed to be enjoyable. That is the expectation that I have. Now, if I look at my career now and the job that I'm doing now, it's not just enough to, have a job and have my needs met or have my expectations met. No, I have my own personal aspirations in life. And what is important to me is that when I'm working, that I feel that I'm a better person, that I feel healthier, that I feel happier, that I don't have to sit in traffic jams all day, for example. That is what is important to me now. And this is how you should think about your employees as well as an employer. So the question is, how should you make your customers feel transformed? How should you do that? There's two things that you need to know. First of all, you need to take into account their expectations because yes, that is still important. 66% of people still say that companies need to understand not only their needs, but also the expectations. I mean, you need to realize that outside of their job and being at work, they still have a lot of other experiences. A lot of other experiences in different fields. And those experiences really shape certain expectations. And so they bring those expectations to work. And yes, when you're an employee or when you're a consumer, your needs are different. So there's no comparing there. But there is comparing when we talk about experiences. And very often, the experience in the consumer world is better than the experience at work. And it is something that we need to take into account if you want to create those employee transformations. Because yes, we have a basic need and that can provide you a job. And you can wonder why is it that people are not satisfied with just a job? Well, it's because they also have some expectations. They want to have a great working experience. And so it's up to you really to understand what that means. You need to look at the employee journey, if you will, and need to understand at every touch point what your employees expect. Because they expect something at a certain point. That's the first thing. You need to understand their expectations to create that great working experience, the same experience that maybe they have in other parts of their life. But there's a second part, and the second part has to do with aspirations. Because if you look at today's society, well, our basic and our social needs are largely fulfilled. And so more and more people have different types of needs. They have aspirational needs, self-actualization needs. You can see this really well if you look at people who are retired. I mean, if I look at my dad, for example, when he retired, he said, this is my time now. I worked my entire life. Now I'll go on that travel I always wanted to do. Now I'll enjoy that hobby that I never had the time for. This is my time. Youngsters, they don't wait until retirement. They really want to be that person that they always wanted to be. They really want to travel, take a sabbatical and do that trip, not wait until retirement. They want to turn that hobby into a profession. Because people today are more aspirational. They want to become the best version of themselves. They take better care of themselves. And you can see that when you look at the Google search terms. Like between 2007 and 2017, the relative search terms for self-care quadrupled. It exploded. And then in the 5 years after, it had doubled again. This is how important it is. And we also see them bring that to work, right? Because more and more there's an increased focus by your employees on taking care of themselves. They want flex work. They want a better work-life balance. Maybe they even want to resign from the rat race simply because they are more aspirational. They want to become the best version of themselves. Now you may wonder, what are these aspirations, right? Why and what are they? How can I play into that? Well, aspirations, they show our personal priorities, our dreams and our values to really become that best possible version of yourself. And of course, if you think about aspirations, very easily you think about improving. You think about becoming a better version of yourself, like literally. But it's not always about improving. Yes, we might want some energy, and yes, maybe we want to heal, build some strength, or have a little bit more creativity, maybe even look better. But in today's society, what we've seen is that aspiration is no longer just about improving. We're a lot more moderate with our aspiration. It's not about improving only, it's about preventing, it's about accepting, and it's about enjoying. These are 4 different things, but we all can aspire to. And that also happens with you at work. If you look at all of these aspirations, they're very universal. I'm pretty sure if you go through this list, you can find the ones that attract you most. It really depends on where you are in life, what is important to you in that moment. And so if you look at, for example, women from different ages, they all might have different aspirations. And maybe I really like that example. Look at a woman of 30, 45 years old. She might still be friends with the ones from university. She might still have her parents alive. She might have 2 kids. Maybe she's at the peak of her career. She just become a new boss. She has a couple of employees under her. Maybe she still has her partner. Maybe she wants to do sports. To be able to do all of that, to be able to be that mom, that partner, that daughter, that friend, she needs a lot of energy. And so people aspire to have that energy. They're looking for ways to build energy, to maintain energy. It's one of the most important life aspirations today. And you as a company, you can help your employee with that. So you can use these life aspirations model to really help your customers and even more so, your employees. And by doing so, you will not only create a great working experience, by including the needs and the expectations of your employees, but if you take into account these life aspirations, you will create exactly the employee transformations. And no, in comparison to the expectations, it's not about the employee journey and the touch points alongside that employee journey. No, it's really about something else. It's going beyond those touch points. It's really thinking about and understanding what is important in their life, their aspirations. Because if you can understand those life aspirations, you can build it into what you're offering, and then your work, the work that you provide, will not only be a great working experience, but will be an employee transformation. A bit like what I'm having right now. I wanted a job when I was 20. I had some very specific expectations when I was 35 actually. And now when I'm 45, I'm actually looking to become the healthiest, best, happiest person that I can be. And you can do that also for your employees. Just think about it. Create a great working experience. Take into account the needs that they might have. Add some expectations that are built from the experience that they have in other parts of their life. And then finally, take into account what is really important to them. Because you can do that, you can build that employee transformations. What they expect and what their deepest needs are. Those 2 elements are critical. And if you do so, you can really build out a proposal of value for your employee, which can be considered as an employee transformation.